everybody. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Cupid. I'm your host, Marla Martenson, and today I'm with healer Jimmy Mack. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, how are you?
Awesome.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. You guys, I did a Halloween show with Jimmy, and I'll put the link to that below because that tells his whole story, how he became a healer, his near-death experience and everything. So today, though, it's Thanksgiving's coming up, and we want to talk about
Yes.
gratitude, your views on gratitude, forgiveness, and whatever else you want to say about Thanksgiving, how we can bring more abundance into our lives. And so
Def-
I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, we'll bust out your pendulum too. We'll
Yeah,
rock
I've
some
got it.
stuff.
I've got it right here. We can
Okay,
show
good.
what we're going to show
Let's
what he
start with
does.
you and I as being clear. We'll see what happens. Go ahead and see if you get yes
Oh,
or no.
okay. This is how Jimmy checks to see if you're clear
Yep.
energetically. So we're going to do it. He has this technique called
Yep.
My Liquid Fish. Okay. I am clear. I am.
Yes, good. The next one would be I am unclear. So you can drop it and yeah, hold it, pick it back up again. I'm pretty rough on pendulums, so
Okay.
it's all good. It should be no now.
I am unclear. No. So that's good.
Nice.
So,
And I'm running forward.
okay.
And that's just basically body, mind, spirit relationships, money, we're at least on track.
I am running forward. Yes, I am.
Nice. Okay. So I feel like really for Thanksgiving and all that, just to give you a little background on all that, my experience has been there's a lot of people into, gosh, the gratitude clothing and just being thankful and all that. And I'm totally on board with all that. Don't get me wrong, but you don't need to be running around the street and just always in a place of thankfulness and appreciation. And at first, that's kind of shocking to people. Obviously somebody opens a door for you, you say thank you and whatnot. But what Spirit's shown to me over time is it's almost like us going to the drive-in bank teller and, we go, hey, we just love you so much. We love this bank and we're so thankful. And she'd be like, okay, do you need a pen? You're welcome. And you're like, no, we just want to stop by and say how thankful we were and we love this bank and we love you. And they'd be like, okay, are you making a deposit or withdrawing money? What are we doing? So that's kind of Spirit. To me, Spirit goes really, really fast. And they go, all right, what do you want? Let's do it. Let's conjure it up and let's go wild and let's have bigger, better things happen. And we don't always know exactly what that is. You might be, working on, wishing on, doing affirmations about a new car and you wind up with a truck. But that's what showed up. So at least it's a vehicle, that kind of thing. So that's the way I look at it. But I would go ahead for everybody that's watching this now, just to create some change for them. And let's drop in what it feels like to be thankful for everything they have now. So beyond going past that, we're going to drop it into yes. And you'll see a yes with your pendulum when it comes in.
See, the pendulum. Okay, we're going to drop in being grateful for everything that we have
That we have now.
now. And it's a yes.
Awesome. And let's make it for everybody that ever sees this, listens to it, tunes into the program. And there you go.
And, I think that the whole vibration of it, look, after Thanksgiving, we've got Black Friday, right? And the frenzy, the people sleeping on the sidewalk for 2 days or for 24 hours or,
Yeah.
knocking people over to get a TV
The
or
big
a
TV, right?
It's that whole thing. It's like we're not grateful for what we have. We're scrambling for more. There's people, when you think about other people in other countries, what's going on, what's happening, there are
Oh,
people with no food. They're dying. They're getting kicked out of their countries. They're scrambling. I mean, I
mm,
bet just to see that, if they would see what's going on, people just stampeding to stores for a deal on an electronic iPad or whatever. It's just insane, right?
right,
And not to
right.
say that, okay, we're here. We're, not that you don't want to get a new iPad or whatever, that you can't have anything, but just, I think, switching the whole feeling around what
Yeah, the
Thanksgiving
energy
is,
around it.
the energy
Yeah,
around
very
it,
much
right?
so. And I tell clients every day, gosh, if you have a roof over your head and electricity and running water and clothes and food to eat, you're better off than 51% of the world.
Or
And
isn't that
that's
even maybe
pretty,
more than 51%?
yeah, it's over 51, but even to be 51 or over, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot. So most people are like, geez, I hope I have something to eat today, or clean water to drink, or clothing, hope it doesn't rain, whatever, because they're
Right.
out in the elements. I mean, that is, we have a lot to be thankful for. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, my
So
mom feeds the homeless twice a week up in Seattle,
I,
and
I love that.
I go with her when I'm up there, and these people, a lot of them are living in the woods, and it's cold up
Mhm.
there, and so it's I feel so when I go home and I into my warm bed, I just think about them. They're out there under a tarp or something, and it's
Mhm.
for whatever reason, whatever happened, no judgment. We don't know. It could be drugs, it could be
Exactly.
some mental illness, it could be some hard times, but
All
they're
the
there, all the above, but they're just trying to make it, and then it just makes me feel extra thankful for everything I have.
yes, and that's a really noble piece, and thank God she's doing that. That's awesome. And my mother and I, for many years, we'd go down to the Episcopal Church and help out with, feeding the homeless kind of thing. We'd help them put together the packages and things that they're going to serve out and distribute to those who have absolutely nothing. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. And it's whatever form it comes in, the thankfulness, the Thanksgiving. It's really about providing a service or a product, giving away a little bit here and there, and really a tithe to me and a thankfulness is somewhere, Spirit would whisper in my ear, it's somewhere in the teens. So almost like a tip, if you will, 10, 15, 20%, really, And so if you're that thankful and that appreciative, it's that much more it's going to circle around back onto you
And
when you least
when
expect
you talk about tithing, that typically we think of that's from the Bible, the word, to tithe to
it.
your church. But what do you could give something in the way of monetary or time, right? Tithe your time if you don't have money, or
Correct.
it doesn't have to
Service
be to a
product.
church, right?
If I were running around with your mother and you and going up to the homeless and feeding them, I'd be figuring out who needs a coat the most, right?
Yeah.
So that's more of a tithe.
Okay.
So whether it's service, a product, the big thank you of the day, whatever it may be, but definitely just providing that much more. And I think too, when people least expect it. And I would say of the receiving end, what they've shown me over time is I have a lot of different clients that phone, Skype, in person, whatever, and they might bring you something, and it might be you might not be wild about fruitcake or something, let's say, but it's from them, so it's a gift. It's what they're giving you, and it's like, wow, it's the best fruitcake ever. Thank you so much, kind of thing. And
Yeah,
so
it's like a
because the
don't.
gift's coming from them, so
Yes, that people might be bad gift givers. There's people in my life who are like, oh my God, what are they? This gift is just it's nothing I would ever use or want. But you don't want to come to it that way. You want to think, gosh, that came from their heart and appreciate it,
exactly.
and then you can always give it to somebody else later if somebody else would have more use for it. But
Exactly, and I'm all about the regifting
the
thing too.
regifting, it seems kind of
Absolutely.
rude, but it's we can't
Yeah,
keep everything, right?
I'm okay with it. Yeah,
That's why you
like
guys, so a great gift to give is a session with Jimmy because he's very affordable for his amazing gifts. I mean, he's so powerful. I had a session with him, half an hour. We worked on some issues, and one of them is a very personal issue, so I'm not going to go into it. But the shift the next day, and it's stuck. It's amazing. I also had some work done around procrastination. I'm a writer, and I've got some books, and I'm writing the third installment to my memoir, right? And it's been taking me a year. It's going to be done. It's coming out like probably in February 2016, but instead
wow.
of done in months, it's like almost the end of the year. So I'm like, okay, I need to work around procrastination. I'm sure you guys can relate, because if you're trying to do a blog or write a book or anything, you always find something else to do, right? Okay, I've got to sit down and write, but hey, I think I need to clean out that closet, or scrub the floor
Or
first.
anything but
Anything
this.
but that. And I would get tired. I mean, I'm not a person, it looks like I have a lot of energy and I'm very energetic, but I burn out like I'm Vata in the Ayurveda, and so I'll have bursts of energy and then I burn out. So it's like I'm in bed by 8 o'clock with a book. I can't, not a person who can go out dancing all night. And I could never write in the evenings because I'm tired after working all day. I've been writing ever since my session with Jimmy. Every night, like 7, 8, 9 o'clock, I'm still doing stuff on my blog, on my show, writing my book. Never
Love
has
it.
that happened. So just tell people quickly how what you do. I mean, we use the
Yeah,
pendulum. What is it's my
yeah.
liquid fish.
Basically, it's jimmymackhealing.com, of course, and whether it be a pendulum, dowsing rods, people do their own muscle testing. People that have had a lot of experience would get a yes or a no. Could be heavy, light, whatever. Standing, I love standing muscle testing. Apply kinesiology for that. And basically, you come to a place where everything's energy. So if you're watching this, chances are you're already there, and you at least believe that everything's energy. So you and I are energy. The call is energy. Everything is energy. The second is you want to come up with a way to get a yes or no. Today, we just happen to be using the pendulum, and we're getting a yes or no. And then the third is the power to change it. And that's where things get a lot more exciting. So it's one thing to kind of come up with a yes or no answer, but my joke on all of it would be if it's something you and I don't like, I'm going to change it. And that makes a huge difference. And we never know what we're going to get, but I know that I believe it'll be an improvement over what direction we were already heading in. So that's the basics.
Like, for instance, a lot of us have blocks about abundance.
Mm-hmm.
About letting life. So let's just do a little test here. So let's
Yeah.
say I want to bring more money into my life for 2016 or whatever. Let's check where I am
Let's
at.
let's do that, and let's do it for everybody that's watching too.
But see how it works. So okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
So what do I say?
I would do something like, for you, it would be safe and comfortable to greatly increase my income for 2016.
I am safe and comfortable for greatly increasing my abundance and money flow for 2016. So I am. Now, if this is the yes, but if it would have gone the other way and it was no,
right,
Jimmy would switch it, and it would
he
would energetically switch it in my cells or energy.
Yeah, it would be field, it would be DNA, every aspect of your body. Core would be incarnation of this lifetime from inception, conception, all the way up to now.
Mm-hmm.
History is all past lives, soul levels, little Marla hooked up to God or whoever. There's parallel dimensions, parallel universe, other worlds. There's a lot of different odd aspects to it. And so kind of over time, they whisper in your ear over what would be the best way to take that particular block out. So even, let's just say for 2016, let's do for you and everybody that watches, let's check out my income greatly exceeds my expenses and my debts.
My income greatly exceeds my expenses and my debts. I'm getting a yes.
Getting a yes there. Good. And so if it were no, we would change it. So we'll find something that
you'll find something. Hey, let's check this. I want to check this one and see what it is. I've been trying to open my third eye, my pineal gland. I think it's calcified. Let's check because I cannot get that sucker open. Let's see.
Grab that.
A lot of people are interested in pineal gland. Right? Let's check it.
Yeah, let's just say that my pineal gland is operating at peak efficiency now.
My pineal gland is operating at peak efficiency now. Okay. No, it's not.
All right.
So here's a no, you guys.
Yes.
Here's a no.
So here we go.
What do I do now?
Nothing. I'm going to change it to yes for you. It's changing right now.
Oh my God, it's changing. All right, so I should be able to see your spirit guides behind you right now, right?
There you go. Well, I'd say to everybody about that, I wouldn't hold any particular exacting thing on how it has to be. I love the passage in the Bible for Corinthians where they talk about speaking in tongues, interpretation of tongues. Some will be given the gift of the healing by the laying on of hands or whatever that may be. And yours could be automatic writing or healing or who cares what. So
yeah, mine is I do use the board and they come through. I talk to my angels on my board. This is my board. You guys everybody wonders what my board looks like that I use. So I do like an automatic writing and the angels come through and spell out messages and they're so great. But I haven't been able to take it further where I hear stuff or see stuff, which I'm trying to do. And that's why I used this because I knew it would probably say no. So I wanted to show people how you switch it.
Yeah. And think of it over time, though, that if you get a lot more intuition and a lot more pieces where you're picking up the whispers in your ear, or seeing things or sensing or feeling color, then that's fine. I wouldn't be hung up on it has to be this way. It's kind of a joke of if you want to see God laugh, tell him your plan. Right.
So it's amazing because Jimmy switches it like in seconds. He does. You're doing something it's magical. Well, It's
I love it. It's magic. There's no doubt. There's no
it's
doubt.
magic. And like
Or
when you said,
magic.
okay, so I knew somebody who came to you. We were talking about this, where had an amazing session, and then the next day said to you, "Oh, the session backfired," which it didn't backfire, but there's our own component to it. You can't put it all on Jimmy. He's changing things. It's changing for sure. But then you can't go to explain that how you can't go.
Well, I would say to that, regardless of who it might be, kind of my joke is I loved Elvis, and Elvis loved vanilla. And I don't like vanilla. He liked vanilla ice cream. I'd have to put pineapples and chocolate syrup, and I'd have to really doctor up vanilla ice cream to get past it, okay? But that was his opinion, and that was his positionality. So everybody comes at this from a different position, or they have a different opinion about what can happen. So we can just make things magical for a client or somebody great, and have everything work out great, but then they could get triggered by road rage or who cares what, and then they might have the feeling as if everything rolled back down the hill, even though it really didn't. It's really pretty much the left brain chatter going, okay, here we go again, and we're back in that spiral of things, quote unquote, not working out. And it's like, no, not really. If you've gone 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you've had successions of decades of tragedy or lifetimes of tragedy, it may take more than 1 hour with me to come up with really profound change.
Right.
I mean, we strive for swinging for the fence in everything we do, but we never know.
Yeah,
what we're
like the
get.
things I switched. I mean, the one personal issue was pretty deep and long going, so I was blown away that it was completely switched and it stuck. I mean, the next day I noticed it, but then that I was really did work. I didn't have to do more work on it. Who knows? Maybe I will later, but for now it's fantastic.
Right, but it's like
but
for
the
now,
little thing,
don't mess with it.
don't mess with it. It's working, and then the smaller issue about procrastination that worked right away too, and it's sticking. So that's great, and you pretty much what you shifts for good.
Huge, yeah,
Huge,
it's huge. And again, it doesn't mean we won't have to have tweaking or we won't have to change something down the road. I would say to all of that, and we're working on Thanksgiving here, but it would be a Thanksgiving type of issue or being thankful, appreciative, any of those words, even thankfulness, appreciative, tithing, gratitude, those would all hold different resonance.
Mm-hmm.
So those would all be different. And so motorcycle is different than car, is different than SUV, is different than an 18-wheeler. They might have motors, but each one of those will hold a different resonance. And so you want to take out as much of that as you could if it was a blocked issue.
Yeah, and some things can be following us from past lives, right? Even relationships that you have to
heavy. Or people will have martyrdom, or be into like the love
playing the victim, right?
Victim, martyr, S&M kind of things, triggers like that, or wanting to be punished, or overly disciplined, or all those types.
Oh, interesting. So if somebody has into the S&M or bondage, does that mean it could come from past life where they feel they need to be punished?
Definitely, or they could have been medieval and they were the punisher. So guess what's happening in this lifetime?
Interesting, to play that out.
To play that out, right? Exactly. And I find too, and regardless of what people's beliefs are about past lives, I love the movie. One of Tom Hanks' movies was Cloud Atlas, and so well, if they haven't seen that, they really need to see that movie, because he would go from the thief to the physician to the caretaker to the killer in different scenes, outer space guy, to just a myriad of different positions and different acting and different time frames. And that's profound. And so I believe you want to come up with kind of the formulary to have the best in this lifetime. And if we were who cares what in the past life, you want to negate out or delete out all those things that would haunt us in this lifetime. So if you had those things and they weren't serving you, for instance, vows of poverty, vows of celibacy would affect the sex piece. Martyrdom, you might have been hanging out with Mother Teresa and whoever in Calcutta, and then you come into this incarnation, you're bringing all that with you. You might have been a priest or a nun or who knows what. And the other thing I would say to all that is, and so you got to figure out pretty much what's going on with that and delete all that out and change it into something new. And the other thing I would say to it is, especially in what you do, is a lot of these people we might be really drawn to, and it doesn't matter if it's your best girlfriend or your boyfriend or husband or wife or whoever it is. We could have been in past lives with them where we were brother, sister, mother, daughter, whatever. And so we so recognize and we're so drawn to that person, like moth to the flame kind of thing. And we don't know why. And I guarantee you it might have been several lifetimes ago. So we can figure that out too. It's more of a point of, hey, isn't that interesting?
It's
But
interesting because I'll be out
definitely.
somewhere at a class or a gathering or whatever, and I'll see somebody, and I just like I just like them. I don't know why. It's like I'm so drawn. Oh, I like how that person looks or how they
Mhm.
express themselves or something. And then somebody else, you're like, ooh, so offensive or so rubs me the wrong way. For you don't even know
Right,
the person, just
right.
so that could be. I don't know. I always try to figure out, is it just hormones because we're attracted to somebody, or is it societal, what they say looks good or people should look like, or is it from past life or a knowing of, it could be
I
any
think
of
it's a
them,
sprinkling of everything,
sprinkling
and
of
I
everything.
think that yeah, if you come up on somebody that really is kind of and you just know it's not a good situation or you don't feel good about that person, then you're picking up on that intuitively of how perhaps quote unquote bad they might be, or you could have been in past lives with them and you killed them, they killed you, and here you recognize them again in this lifetime, cowboys and Indians kind of days, and then you recognize them again, and it's somebody that killed you 3 lifetimes ago. So as
Wow.
bizarre as that sounds, that's what happens a lot
Hey,
of times.
asking about past lives, do we come back? Are we ever animals or anything other life
I
forms?
don't I don't believe we're animals. It's okay to have totems and animal guides and you know different spirit animals. I've been through a lot of the um, shaman type
Mm-hmm.
teachings and experiences, but it's my experience that I believe the kingdoms are kind of intertwined, and going to heaven you might see your favorite puppy you had for 15 years, but you're not going to come back as a kitty cat next lifetime. So
Okay, yeah, because
that's my opinion.
some people say you do, and some people say you don't. So
I would tell them no. That's not
if I
true.
ever come back, I'd like to come back as my own dog because she's the most spoiled dog on the planet.
Yeah, there
All
you
right,
go.
good. Well, you guys, I'm going to put the links below how to contact Jimmy because I swear that's the best gift you can give somebody. Something fun and experience, not something you put into a drawer. So whether it's an angel reading or a massage or a mani-pedi or a session with Jimmy, something like that, people don't forget it and it can change their lives and bring something to it instead of another knickknack or whatever, So
Right.
that's my 2 cents on gifts and giving thanks. So
Yes.
and I thank you, Jimmy, for everything
Thank
you've done
you.
for me, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I
Bye.
appreciate it. Bye.